I've been a doctor for about 15 years, and I have never felt as welcome in any company or in any job situation that I've ever been in as I have with Lifemax. Okay, just a brief history of chia. Again, MILA is a mix of the best chia that we can get. This was a staple of the Aztec diet 500 years ago. They harvested corn, beans, and amaranth and chia, but there's evidence that it may have been used as early as 3500 BC by the ancient Mayas. They considered it so important that they used it as a cash crop. Why it got lost through history? There's debate, but there's two key points here. We know that the Spanish didn't like it because the Aztecs used it as in their rituals, in the pagan religious rituals. But also there was an economic situation as well. There was no real market for this seed in Europe, so they supplanted it with more traditional seeds like wheat, barley, etc. Interestingly, the diet, the Aztec diet from these four crops meets today's requirements for nutrition. In fact, scientific research has already established, and we'll talk about this a little bit, that the pre-Columbine diets before the conquest were superior to our present day diet. Unfortunately, what we call the Western diet, you'll have to forgive me a little bit. I'm pretty much a passionate man, and I sometimes make statements that come from the heart, and this statement is one of them. I truly believe with the Western diet, we're being poisoned systematically. And that's one of the reasons why I am so involved in this company, because I want to change the health and wealth of the world. So, chia now is emerging as a new food because it just offers an opportunity for all of us to become healthier. Now, the first concept that I want to introduce is a concept of a functional food. And what is a functional food? Functional food is a food that, besides its ability to provide nutrients, has the ability to promote health or prevent disease. Chia is one, if not the best, one of the best functional foods you can get anywhere. And MILA is the best chia you can get anywhere, bar none. Okay, why? What attracted me to this as a physician was its content in omega-3s. What are omega-3s? Omega-3s are essential fatty acids. So throughout the history of, the recent history of modern medicine, we have been taught or led to believe that fats are bad. That's not true. Not all fats are bad. In fact, omega-3s is a fat, and that's essential to life. What is essential? It means that you cannot live without omega-3s. It's that simple. Now, not all fats are created equal, and what happens is that in the Western diet, or the American diet, through the process of processing the food, a lot of key nutrients have been depleted from these processed foods, thereby altering what we talk about, the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. The healthy ratio should be from 3 to 1 in favor of omega-3s. In the Western diet, we get a ratio of 10 to 1. And what that means is that omega-6s, though they're also essential, they're involved with inflammation. And what we now know, and what we've learned through research, is that all the common chronic diseases that we take for granted in the modern world, like diabetes, hypertension, strokes, heart attacks, etc., cancer, they're all inflammatory diseases. So that's what I mean when I say that we're being poisoned systematically by the food industry. If we ate the way that we were supposed to eat, these diseases would not exist. So what we have here is just the safest, most efficient way of omega-3 delivery. It's that simple. And the cool thing is that we get a type of omega-3 that is the one that we're supposed to get. We're supposed to get plant omega-3s. The name is alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, as opposed to its byproduct that you get with fish is DHA and EPA. Now, the fish industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's almost like a drug company. So a lot of the research on omega-3s has been done with fish oils and with omega-3s from fish. And then they will lead you to believe that omega-3s from plants is not really physiologically utilized by the body. But for ALA to work in your body, it needs to be converted into EPA and DHA. And there's some controversy as to what makes that conversion. Well, we know that one of the major factors is the amount of omega-6, because the omega-6 also needs to be converted into their pro-inflammatory components. But they use the same enzymes, the same proteins for this conversion as omega-3s. So if you overwhelm your body with omega-6s, meaning if you eat a lot of pizza and a lot of French fries, a lot of McDonald's and all the crap that we're used to eating in this country, then the conversion will be less. So it's important to be healthy all around. And there's also individual variation. But 2 points. One is that there's a negative feedback loop in this conversion, which is really cool. And that's why this is an essential fatty acid. If your body is deficient in one of its byproducts, then the conversion will lead to the conversion of that byproduct. For example, if you're lacking on DHA, for example, then your body will make from ALA that DHA. If you have too much of it, then you won't convert it. You'll just eliminate it, right? So that implies that it's impossible to overdose or get too much of ALA. That's why this is how we were supposed to get our omega-3s. Fish, on the other hand, it is possible to overdose or eat too much omega-3s because you don't get this conversion. You already get the byproduct in the fish. Plus, you also get mercury and PCBs and other contaminants. And also, another important characteristic is that the fish oil industry is altering irreversibly the normal ecosystem of the ocean. That's another point that's very important to understand. Fish are finite. Products like MILA are infinite. They grow from the earth. The other thing, like I mentioned, was that in order for ALA to convert into its byproducts, it takes enzymes away from the omega-6s. So that does 2 things. One, it's using enzymes to convert into good things. And number 2, it's taking away enzymes for the bad things to be converted. So that's another difference that's pretty cool. That's why people get this anti-inflammatory effect. That's why Kimmy Everett, her hip pain was cured in 7 days, and my knee pain was cured in 7 days as well.